listener of the show gave me. The listener of the show gave me a button. And they put the button face down. Gave me the button face down. And I turned the button over and looked. And it was Jared Leto from Suicide Squad. I looked at it. And I was just like, damn it. I looked at it, I was just like, why did you give me this? And the listener said to me, I don't want it. And I'm like, what do you think I'd want it for? I don't like it. I didn't say that to him, but I was just like, why do you think I want it? He goes, I thought you liked Jared Leto. I'm like, fuck Jared Leto. It was just, I laughed because it was kind of funny, and I was just like, this is stupid. So, it made me laugh and stuff, and I never seen so many people just, I can't believe that they blew up my damn phone. Just chat over stupid things. Anyway, it was really cool to run into the listener. Didn't even want me to mention their name because the story is much more funnier. So, anyway, I wanted to talk about this one film. This one film called The Frankenstein Theory. This film is produced by the people who did The Last Exorcism. And The Last Exorcism was a scary film. Terrifying. I mean, very unnerving. And this whole premise of the film has a lot of potential. Because the Frankenstein story of Victor Frankenstein bringing something back from the dead is amazing potential of a story. And the thing that bugged me was it sounded so cool in the trailer. Like, if you play the trailer, you'd be like, man, this film looks really fucking good. And when you watch the film itself, you're sitting there going like, this film is not that good. So, anyway, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to really go through a lot of things in this film. So, one part of the film that I watched was this professor named Jonathan Vickenham is interviewed by film crew who, and he reveals that the Mary Shelley Frankenstein is a fictionalized account of his ancestor, who is a medical person and he ends up revealing that the Frankenstein monster is real. In the next interview, Vike and him discuss how the Illuminati were trying to discover the secret of life when Jonah is secretly found genetics. However, because of Jonah destroyed his notes, Vikenham has no proof. So, basically in this film, this guy, his ancestor was the basis of Frankenstein. Dr. Victor Frankenstein. And Dr. Victor Frankenstein created Frankenstein by robbing graves, taking a brain, and using electricity and lightning to bring this person back from the dead. It's a beautiful story because it shows that humans should not try to be like God and bring life back or, whatever. So, in this story, it's basically like the Blair Witch Project meets The Last Exorcism meets Frankenstein. And I remember sitting through this film going like, oh man, a Frankenstein film. Something that has never been done before. A found footage Frankenstein film. So I sat through this film going like, man, this is going to be a really good film, and it's going to be great. Sat through it, and it was boring. It was just boring. I sat through this film going like, well, where's the monster? Where's the Frankenstein? Where's the castle? Where's all these things? This film had nothing. This film was just bare bones of boredom. There was... Basically, I'm going to use the Frankenstein reference. There was no life in this film. This film had no life. At all. So... when you watch the trailer, like, the scary part that they show in the film where this woman is hiding in this cavern in this camera and she has her mouth covered going and trying to, not be loud by covering her mouth, and Frankenstein just rips off the door and goes right at her, which is scary when you watch the trailer of it. That is basically the only scary part in the film. And that is the ending of the film. Nothing else. You barely see this fucking monster character. You don't even get a good look at him. You just see him rush in there, take the broad, and boom, that's it. The end of the film. This film had so much potential that it just aggravates me. I wish that I would have done this film. Because I would have been like, alright, we are going... Like, the thing they could have done was, this guy could have been like, you read the Frankenstein novel and seen the film. I have the secrets of bringing somebody back from the dead. I wish they would have just done that way. Like, this guy is completely crazy in the head. And he tries to show them that everything you read in Frankenstein, the film and all that, can happen. And it's an experiment gone wrong. Like this monster comes alive and he hunts down everybody. And you watch this doctor sort of like go insane. Like this film is so damn boring. I don't recommend this film to anybody. At all. I don't recommend this film to anybody. This film is boring. This film is atrocious. I mean, if you want to see a really good, scary, fucked up film that involves Frankenstein, watch Frankenstein's Army. That is a scary, terrifying, fucked up movie that will leave you kind of going like, what did I just watch? Because this film is set in at the end of World War II, where Russian soldiers are pushing into the Eastern Germany, stumbles across a secret Nazi lab where the scientist who has begun experimenting and with the journal of one of Dr. Victor Frankenstein. The scientist has used the legendary Frankenstein work to assemble an army of super soldiers, stitching them together from body parts of fallen comrades. A desperate Hitler's last ghastly ploy to escape defeat. That film is like fucking terrifying, and it's completely messed up. Like when you watch this film, it looks like something out of a Rob Zombie music video. And it's very terrifying. So anyway. One of the things that always bugged me is when they make a good horror film, they have such a good concept, but they don't execute on it. Like, for example, Frankenstein theory. I watched this film, and anytime I watch it, it always bugs me how they just fumbled the football. I haven't used a football reference for a while, so it just bugs me. It just annoys me that they just couldn't make a good film. I'm looking at a lot of these Frankenstein things or projects they're working on. They made a show in Japan called Frankenstein in Love. I never heard of it, so Sherlock Holmes versus Frankenstein. So there is some parts in, like I said, with Frankenstein theory, there is several. What is the word? There is several concepts in the film that could have worked, could have made the film great, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't execute on it. I always tell people that I am a very annoying person to sit through while watching a movie based on a concept or something that I really, really like. If it's a Batman film and you can't make the film right, then don't do it. For example, there was this short film they made called The Death of Batman. I do not recommend this film. I absolutely hate this film. I hate this film because the person who made it disliked Batman. He doesn't like Batman. This film is basically about Batman getting captured by a druggie, gets beaten